Welcome to another episode of Embarrassing Moments, where we get a good laugh and we learn a lesson. Today, we're going to be talking about a man's worst nightmare. Now, before we get into this video clip and then have this conversation, I need you guys to join this conversation. Comment your thoughts, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Here we go. Wait, before we do that, let me introduce myself. My name is Bertrand. I am the coolest dude on the planet, and I'm your friend. Confidence and clarity is the goal for my channel. So here we go.
That's most attractive, right?
Yeah.
Why she gotta go over there?
Cause that's my shorty.
That's your shorty.
Yeah.
You talking about your shorty? Yeah. Your shorty what?
You talking about my shorty?
How that's your shorty?
What you mean?
Hey, brother. Oh. Yeah. Nah, dead ass. What am my mother?
How you gonna prove that?
What you mean how?
How you gonna prove that?
Man.
How you gonna prove that?
I was bunning that. That's why she laughing. She laughing at you because you a clown.
It's like that?
Trying to show you.
When a man looks you up and down, I don't know where y'all from, but where I grew up, it's time to start throwing hands. In fact, if a man looks you up and down and he gets to playing with his nose, that means a punch or a slap is about to come. So if I were the guy who was confronting the boyfriend, I would be standing ready to go because he looks like he's about to crash out. Now this will be a easy KO because this dude is clearly not paying attention. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I felt this kind of rage before. Now I wasn't in this type of situation. My situation was different and probably a little more embarrassing, at least for me anyway, but I know what that rage feels like. Now, before I talk about that rage, let's get into the embarrassing moment, right? Now, this wasn't really funny, but then again, when you think about it from the woman's perspective, it's hilarious because not only did she fool the guy into being a boyfriend, but she also has the guy on the side, and somehow these two ended up in the same room. Now, what really makes this embarrassing is the fact that the side guy aggressively confronted the boyfriend. What really makes this bad is the guy who was knocking the wig off his girlfriend was in the room with him, and he was talking to him aggressively. So he felt disrespected and embarrassed by the dude and by the chick because the chick was in the background laughing, sniggling on the side. Now here's a question for all the men and all the real men, because I know there's some P's out there, some players and some pimps who like, oh man, nah, you gotta check that broad, you gotta do this, but it's too much information to process. Question: how should this have been handled? In my opinion, right? Maybe just because I'm a gentleman, maybe because I grew up a certain way, so I understand that you don't want to ever be in a situation where you're out of bounds. All right. So how this should have been handled is this man should have pulled him to the side like, hey, bro, this woman is not who you think she is. This woman is literally handing that thing out like it's candy during Halloween. But the way he did this was foul. Now, why was this foul? This was done in an embarrassing way, in front of people, in an aggressive way. Now, this man is not only trying to process what just happened with his chick. I mean, listen, it's completely different when you see your woman giving dome to another man with honors, right? Meaning she's enjoying giving this man dome, or she's enjoying getting her wig knocked off. It hits you different, especially when this is a woman that you really like or that you really love, right? Or that you think is really yours. Men are territorial. Women don't really understand this, but this is why chivalry is dead. Again, real women, because I know y'all watch the channel because y'all be in the comment section. Real women, this is where y'all have to step up and call it out, because if you don't, this man is gonna be out here and you're gonna be trying to date him and you're gonna wonder why he's emotionally unavailable or why he's not giving you a certain amount of communication. This is the reason why. This is happening way too often. It sucks when you realize that the woman you chose is community property. This man's ego, his pride, his respect, his reputation was all confronted and aggressively disrespected. This was also foul because this was so much information that he really didn't have time to process. Should he go after her? Should he get on her head, or should he get on his head, or is he gonna get on both of their heads? Because it's different when you give a woman your commitment, when you think that you're doing the right thing by protecting this woman, protecting her honor, protecting her reputation, and then you find out that this woman's reputation is something she don't give a damn about. Or when you find out that her being community property is her reputation, when you find that out and you're processing it all in the same time, it's real easy to crash out, fellas. It's real easy to crash out. Now, for all the real women who watch this channel, this has to be called out by the woman. Y'all cannot let this slide. Women, y'all can't let this slide with other women if you want men to treat you a certain way. Because here's what happens. This man experiences this, right? Now, this is good for him because it's going to mentally make him tougher. But when it comes to you, he's going to treat you a certain way. You will get certain treatment because of this type of situation. You will not be trusted because of women like this. So if you're not calling this out, it means that you're a woman who is like this. This is your nature as well if you're not willing to call it out. Now, I felt this type of rage before where you're trying to process a whole bunch of information at once. Luckily for me, I have a daughter, and my daughter happened to be present. She happened to be getting off of the school bus. And just as I felt this anger and this rage, trying to process all this different information, what kicked in for me was Daddy's little angel showed up. When Daddy's little angel showed up, it immediately snapped me out of it, because protect her, meaning protect my daughter, that kicked in. When it came to just this little girlfriend that I had, like it showed me what was important, and I mean immediately, because it's different when you see a man pull up. Now, why is this a man's worst nightmare? I mean, it's one thing to know that a woman is not a virgin, but I have 5 reasons why this is a man's worst nightmare. Number 1, it's one thing to find out that your woman is cheating, but getting right into number 2 is different when that man is actually in the room. Number 3, the guy confronts you aggressively. Number 4, he's talking to you crazy. And number 5, he actually shows you the proof and then call you a clown while she's laughing in the background. Again, that's just too much information for you to process at one time. Again, I know there's some guys out there who gonna act like they super masculine and super strong, but I'm gonna tell you guys this. There's always one woman. Every man has at least one woman that he would crash out for. There's at least one. Every single guy has it. And if he doesn't have it, then I don't really know what to say about that man. I don't know if I can call that man a man, because when things like this happen, these are the things that actually help to mold your personality. This is what helps to mold you as a man. How do you come out of a heartbroken type of situation? How do you overcome adversity? How do you overcome your emotions, right? This is one of those tests. Do not crash out. The reasons why are really simple. If you go to jail, she's gonna be getting banged out by a whole bunch of other dudes. If you lose your life, she will still have man juice all over her face.
You just gonna come to my house and me and come all in my mouth and you're not gonna hello. Don't you hang up again. Because if you hang up, I'm gonna bust all your windows out.
If you lose the fight, and it's easy to lose this type of fight, because if you don't KO him with a 1 or a 1-2, then more than likely you'll be off balance, you'll be too emotional, you won't be thinking rational, which means you will lose balance. And if you lose your balance in this type of situation, you will be easily KO'd because you're too mad. You can't even think or process, which means you're all offense, no defense, no counters, no movement, just straight up taking whatever is coming your way.
You ain't got shit to do with that. Don't put your hands on me. Bro,
It doesn't matter if you're at home, if you're at work, or if this woman is just not around you for a certain amount of time. It usually means somebody is knocking the wig off of your woman and she's enjoying this. Okay, so fellas, it's important that you do not crash out. Again, I know this is embarrassing because your pride is hurt, your ego is hurt, your reputation is now challenged or changed. Now you can come out on a respectable side of this where you actually build your reputation up and make your reputation even better, even stronger. There's a way to do that. It's called getting your confidence back up. So this is what the channel was really about, fellas. This is happening so much that it has become normal. It's so normal that us saying that it was just your turn, this term is being used so much that this is something you really have to process, especially when you get mad, because women are showing themselves to have performances where they're trying to really push different emotional buttons to see exactly how you are going to respond. Now, what I mean by a performance is
care you. What am I here for? We just got back on.
Fake tears, fake crying, acting like they're really hurt, or putting on or setting up some type of emotion that gets you involved in whatever it is that she's doing. Women play different types of games, and the sucky part about them playing these types of games is they're playing these games with a whole bunch of different men. Let me tell you this, there is always a man, and I mean always a man, who's looking to get a release. If this woman has an ovulation or if she just gets horny, there is always a guy who is available, who is willing, who is ready to knock the dust off. The reason why I am responding to this video is because the name of the game has changed. Women have changed this game. We think that women are pure, inaccessible, and it's special if we're the guy who gets that woman. But what we don't realize is, hey, she's dressed like that for a reason. She's moving around. She's talking like that for a specific reason. She's looking for experiences, and the guys who can give her that experience. Now listen, when I say experiences, I'm not just talking about financial experiences where you're taking the woman traveling or you're buying her things. Sometimes she want to experience a different man, a man who doesn't have it all, because there's pros and cons to every single man. So she's trying to figure out what type of life she wants to live. But she's racking up the bodies and she's racking up the experiences. Now, she's never gonna be happy or satisfied because that's not what she's looking for. Again, she's looking for how things make her feel. What happened in this clip was a man found out in the worst way that his woman was cheating. Not only did he aggressively get confronted, but he was also shown video or picture proof, which means this woman was doing whatever she was doing with honors. Think about it. It's gonna hit you way different when you realize, wait a minute, I didn't record you doming me up like this. I didn't record you with my man juice all over your face. Like, how the hell did this dude get to do that? And then when you see it, you like, I just kissed you, right? Like, there's a whole bunch of things, a whole bunch of thoughts that start playing in your mind at once, where you realize, oh my God, you just had this man all in your mouth, and I'm kissing you in the mouth. Like, it just hits different. There's three things that I learned from this clip. Number one, just because it's your turn does not mean it's not his turn. Number two, some men take the short route, some men take the long route, meaning some guys know, okay, this is a one-nighter for sure, or this is a, I can deal with her for, maybe a few weeks, maybe a month. And then some guys feel like they have to get in a relationship with this woman, or some guys have to take that approach. And then number three is game means nothing. Now, some men are gonna tell you that it does matter, but I want y'all to think about this. between these two guys, I don't know who has money, who doesn't have money, but what I can tell you this is, just for the fact that I know that I've been with women who deal with men who have money. Money matters, but it doesn't matter all the way completely. Having money does not mean she's not gonna cheat on you. This is why I say get your mind together, get your body together, and make sure your finances are good. The reason why is because you get a different access to life. You get to experience things that you wouldn't be able to experience if you didn't have the money. Hopefully what you're working on and what you're doing is something that's helping you become selfless, meaning you're helping other people. For instance, us just being able to be on the internet and have these type of conversations, this is helpful because some men is going through a situation like this, and he needs to hear, hey, I've been through this too. This is how I handled it. Now, there are other men who've handled this situation differently, and they're not here to speak about it, whether they're in jail or whether they're in the ground. Now, with that being said, you gotta understand this. No matter if you're in jail or in the ground, this woman is still getting the brakes beat off her, because this is what's going on in the dating market today. Now, women say dating has been ruined, but they never say that they have ruined dating. It's them. They get jealous of each other. They're sexually free. They're sexually liberated. And because they are sexually liberated, no matter if they get into a relationship or not, there are always guys on the sideline. There's always a friends with benefits. There's always a situationship. There's always a fling. And if that woman is traveling, you better believe she got a vacay pay. So with all this being said, I got a question for you. What do you think? Comment under this video. Remember, when you are watching these videos, you are becoming the best version of yourself. Now that this video is done, do me a huge favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.